Hi, everybody. Welcome to your weekly call. My name's Lee Honish. This is a call about distressed properties and marketing. Happens every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Just go to honish.io. You can click on the link and join us here on the call live. Ask all the questions that you want here on the lovely Zoomland. Zoom. We're on Zoom, and it's available to everybody. Feel free to join us. We would love to have you on the call. My name is Lee Honish. Follow me at social media at Lee Honish Marketing. You can check out my business page at www.honish.io. You can also check out my marketing company, which is perfectbluestudio.io. We do take questions. I will be answering questions along the way. I do have topics to cover. Barbara Frisbee jumps out of the gate hard. Heard a lender mention interest rates going up once inflation gets going. Do you agree? And when and next year? Okay. So if prices go down, interest rates will go up, right? Does that make sense to you, Barbara? I saw somebody do a really great meme online about interest rates being up, but prices going down, and ultimately, it would cost more if interest rates went up. We've been talking about interest rates going up. I was betting with a hard money lender 2 years ago about interest rates going up, and I believe I still owe a dinner based on that. So do I think? Yeah, at some point next year, the year after. I've been saying it for 2 years. At this point, I just kind of shrug a lot when it comes to the interest rate. They should have brought it back up, but the amount of money that has been moved, right, based on the market. And now we're in this weird pandemic thing that's going on. And they want to keep moving money, and they want to keep people buying houses because that's something in the United States that's working. No, the short answer is no. I don't see it changing anytime soon, right? A year from today, I've been saying a year from today for 2 years. Certainly 2019, 2018, 2019. 2019, I think, is when I started saying that they had to do it. I didn't understand it. They're going to collapse the dollar. There's a lot of real banky things about that with my background that I thought would occur that have not occurred. So to answer your question, every time I think that they should be doing it, they don't do it. I mean, that's the honest truth about that particular topic. So there you go. I know it's not a really good answer. But the reality is, unless real estate prices go down, interest rates won't go up. They won't. That's the truth. And right now, prices are through the roof. So interest rates are down to stimulate more buying. We're creating a peak and we're creating value. And homeowners love it. Love it. Love it. How you guys doing? Go ahead and load up on questions. I will cover this as our overall theme. So if you have questions about the market or real estate, I will work those in. I'm going to cover some topics that I just talked about a few minutes ago for a podcast later on in the week. And it was an article from Inman News about how to make 2021 your best and social media year ever. As many of you know, this is what I do for a living. I create content. I put the content up for people, and I get more people to look at the content. So I will talk about this the way they talk about it, but I will talk about it my way and insert my responses for each one. So the first thing that they say is time block on a daily basis. This is a big deal. I get a lot of clients who tell me they spend a lot of time on social media looking for clients, all the platforms. Why they're even making the TikTok videos like the kids, and they have so many followers. That's great. That's great if it's actually converting to actual phone calls on Facebook and Instagram. And if it's actually converting, then keep making your videos and you keep at it. Generally, when people tell me they're on social media and they're looking for leads or listings and they're not finding anything unless they buy a Facebook ad, my answer is you're scrolling through timelines. You're not really using social media for what it really truly is. I'm going to say this, and it might be a little controversial to everybody, so take it for what it's worth. Social media is a television network that you have the opportunity to broadcast your message on for your business or service. If you look at it any other way than a living, breathing artificial intelligence with an algorithm that is paying attention to everything you do on any of the platforms, from LinkedIn all the way to Twitter, to Facebook, to Instagram, to they all have artificial intelligence operating them, and they're paying attention to everything you do. You have an opportunity as a person to advertise who you are, your brand, your service, what you want to bring to the table. Time block it. Plan to spend 15 minutes a day doing something that generates more views, more clicks, more whatever. Not just, as a friend of mine would say to me often, you got sucked into the matrix for 2 hours. I do get sucked into the matrix for 2 hours. I will go down bunny holes of watching videos and looking. So I create two types of content. We'll talk about it in a minute in greater detail. And hopefully these are tips you guys can employ for yourself. I do original content for my clients, or I do what I call a reuse of content for my clients. They're both effective. The goal is to create new and clever content on a weekly basis, or even a daily basis in some cases, to generate more followers, more clicks, more likes, and more engagements on any of your content. I get hired by companies where I'm baffled by how I'm going to achieve that, because in the case of a CBD company, I can't actually have a business page. I can't talk about those things. None of you have that excuse in real estate. Not a one of you. Not a one of you. I've said this, and don't get me wrong, I post about my food, I post about my family, I post about my friends. When I'm in a relationship, I post about my relationship. I do all those things, okay? I'm not saying not to do those things. People want to build a personal connection. There are 3 reasons a person will hire any of you to work with them on their next real estate transaction, right? The first is trust, the second is like, and the third is expertise. Through videos, through social media, you can build those 3 things, which build credibility, which keep you top of mind, which keeps your brand at the top of service. Make sense? And feel free to ask questions along the way for each one. You want to time block these, right? Which leads to step number 2, create pillar content. Pillar content is, well, this, right? Create a video, turn it into audio, repurpose it, rebrand it up, reband it below, put a header on it, make sure it's got a website on it, put a phone number on it, lead it to something free, do a Facebook Live. All of those things are monumental. If your message is to work with distressed property or people who've missed payments, then do that. If you're repurposing content, which I do for clients, right? I do 2 types, original and repurposed. Repurposed content is no different than going online, getting a video of your local newscast talking about just what happened yesterday, that the foreclosure moratorium has been extended, right, for another couple of months. Get a video clip of that. Get a clip of Biden. Put your information at the top. Put your information at the bottom. The goal is to get your name associated with distressed properties or real estate in general, right? Don't kick the camera. Sorry. And put that out there. Put it in your local markets. Make sure people see it. It's crucial to your success, especially in the coming market. I think David made it a point that nothing has really changed about the current real estate market other than open houses. And even to get around that, people are just booking them in 15-minute increments to have open houses. So nothing really per se about using monster marketing to doing any forms of marketing has changed. I can tell you what's happening. I can tell you that people are getting more spam calls, and homeowners are suing some real estate agents for over-aggressive tactics of spam marketing. So you have to be more clever. You have to make it permission-based. You have to create content. I cannot stress it enough. You have to create content. A pro will put up to 60 pieces of content per day onto their site. And you can watch it with people you know on social media that are doing nothing more than trying to be influencers. They will put something up every 30 minutes or so, 15 or 20 minutes, to constantly try to get engagements. The engagements increase the algorithm so that when I put something really important up, like, hey, have you missed a payment and you have questions about, the foreclosure moratorium, call me, right? Let's just go with an easy message. And I make that video. The video needs to be 3 minutes and 1 second. I want the maximum number of people to see it. Well, if I haven't been investing time into spending time on other people's profiles, loving them, liking them, changing the algorithm in general, when I post that piece of content and then share it in groups that are specifically to my demographic, i.e. my location, my age bracket, homeowners specifically, it will not be exposed to a large number. Generally, you'll get exposed to about 1% of whatever the feed is. So generally, when I get a client, I set up what I call a group for them. That group is generally 1 million people on Facebook that meet the appropriate criteria through the Facebook group system. If I am not constantly under the at Frank Lee Honish or at Lee Honish profile, constantly spending time on other people's profiles or other pages or groups, not just liking and loving, spending 3 seconds or 30 seconds looking at a post. When I post for my clients, okay, my goal is to get 20% of that million. That's my goal every time I set out. What does that really mean? If I get a couple of 100 engagements to a video or a meme or a piece of audio, then I'm winning the game for my clients. I'm winning the game for me personally. And it's really important. And I stay true to my message. I'm a marketer. So the things that show up on my Lee Honish marketing page are congruent to that. When I work with a CBD company, right? Not only do they get their content that is congruent to their message with usually the CBD hidden well within it, I'll put it on my market. I have a platform for my marketing company, right? At Perfect Blue Studio, we'll get a piece of that talking about here's a piece of content. I reuse the content as much as humanly possible. You can do that too. You need to really get over, but you need to know what your core values are. Are you building trust? Are you building credibility? Are you building like? Feel free to ask questions if you're in the room. Jane Nathan just showed up. I'm really behind on letting people in the room today. So feel free, one of those two things. And if you have any questions, first of all, write this down. It's probably, if people are rewatching the video, above or below. Send me a text, 858-663-2537, or email me, lee@honish.io. Okay? Write in the subject line or on the text line, free help, and I'll talk to you for an hour and help you and tell you what to do. I'm happy to do it. Now, let me explain that as a marketing note. I have now gotten you to call me for marketing help. It allows me to build my expertise, my credibility, my trust, my about a half dozen other things that I don't even talk about most of the time. But more importantly, it allows me to build a connection with someone who might be interested in working with me later on. I realize most of you are working with me, but there are people watching this who have not worked with me previously. So I need to build credibility down the road to have them hire me as a marketer to create their content or do their branding and get their message out on social media. Make sense? You can do the same thing. All you have to do is add that simple message of, hey, call me and I'll tell you about your home or your alternatives to foreclosure or the value of your home for free. Here's my cell phone number. Text me. Help. Simple. Nobody does it. You know why? You're afraid to have your cell phone out there. But I really want to make this clear. The only thing that has happened since I've been very vocal about my cell phone number is I get a few more spam texts and a few more spam phone calls than I did before I started to do it. And I've been doing it for a couple months now. It doesn't seem to make that much of a difference. I don't want everybody knowing my cell phone number. Really? I can type your name in and probably find your cell phone number pretty quickly. It's not a huge stretch. Does that make sense to everybody? Or as David put it on the podcast we just did earlier, don't be a secret agent. A lot of you do this. It's literally one of the most fascinating things I know about in the entire world about all of you. Catherine's on the call. I'm building a website. I'm building platforms. I'm building pages. I've been spending weeks poring over them before I launch them because I'm going to spend the next 6 months putting content, her pillar content of contact her, up. Tireless hours. Hi, Catherine. Tireless hours. But that's what people expect when they hire me, right? And I do it actually, and this isn't a sales pitch, less than other people. The people who get more business than me are people who charge 2 or 3 times more than I do. The reason I don't raise my price, as ridiculous as this sounds, is I don't want more work. I actually have real salespeople these days, and I'm kind of not into it anymore. I have enough clients at the moment. I know that sounds like a sales pitch. I do only take things case by case. I do have a salesperson. I do have virtual assistants who do some of the work for me these days. But I'm also, as you guys have followed me, I am about living my best life, right? I'm in a very positive emotional and mental state, and I don't want to change being happy just because I'm chasing money. Okay, so there's a really fine line of being smart. If you have the money, spend it. Okay, I'm not the only guy out there. There are plenty of people out there who do what I do. They charge a lot, right? Make sure they'll do it. Make sure they've got content. David said this earlier. Make sure when you hire somebody that they got a track record for doing it, right? Be prepared to sit on a Zoom and let them show you numbers of what they're working on. And look at it specifically for real estate. Ask for Alexa rankings. Ask about Google searches, right? Do the real deal. Do the real searches. It's important. And if you have questions, go ahead and type them in. Am I just wowing you all here on the live call with good content? So there are some real basics, right? First is demographic. So we're still, you want to get to brainstorming after you realize the platforms you want to be on, the content you want to create, all of that, right? So now let's brainstorm it. Let's put it all together. Number one, you need to know your demographics. Who is your number one client, male or female, age, etc. Right? Why do you like working with those clients? What do you love about them? Always remember to put your passion into your project. My passion these days is into creating my content. Rarely will you see me building a website unless your name is Catherine Regal. Maybe one other person right now. And she's finding it absolutely hilarious to watch me build a website because I'd normally just farm it out, right? To do those things. Why do you love what you do, right? And bring that passion out on your website. Bring it out on your social media. Bring it out on your 3-minute and 1-second videos. What is most important to you professionally and personally? People want to have a personal connection. People want to know about me. They want to know about my life. That's why they're following me on social media. But more importantly, when you go into the business of making videos, especially when you're a talent, and that's what you are, you become an on-air talent. This is what I am. Part of my job is being a spokesman for many people. I don't always appear on camera, but I am often asking questions. I produce podcasts for real estate agents, and I'm in the background. You don't see me. They are. But I am there, and it's my job to make them look as good as possible. It's my job to make David look good for the Everhome broadcast. And again, if somebody can't tell you, hey, go to perfectbluestudio.io and click on my client list and check out the work I've done, if that's in alignment with the values you're after, let me know. I'm happy to work with you. Everybody's case by case in my universe. And I do that specifically just to keep my workload down, to keep me happy. For you, you guys need to get your phone numbers out there and throw it out there as hard and as heavy as possible. It's mind-blowing. The fact that people are afraid of giving out their emails, their phone numbers. I would broadcast it to the holy high heaven. What's your fear? More spam calls, more text spam? I get them. No big deal. I leave my phone on vibrate. I check it every once in a while. It always seems to work out to some degree. Number 4, think beyond now. Repurpose your video. This video will be a podcast. This video will be rebranded and be a podcast, probably on 2 different podcast platforms, both audio and video, without a doubt. I will use this one video, this one coaching call, as a Lee Honish marketing piece and a coaching call for all of you. So let's think about this one ultimately 30-minute video and how many times I'm going to reuse a live call on Zoom that's costing me $30 a month as compared to GoToWebinar. This is costing me $30 a month. It'll download directly to my computer. So I will repurpose it. I will put a header on it. I will put a base on it, right? I'll be able to put stuff in the description for them to click on it. It'll go at Lee Honish Marketing. It'll go on my website the same way at honish.io in a coaching section, right? So it's reused content, probably just like this, won't have branding on it. It will also go on YouTube. It'll also go on LinkedIn. It'll also go a 1-minute clip of it or a meme of this will go on Instagram. Facebook, of course, will get the entire platform and have it shared. Then I'm going to repurpose it for a podcast I do called Facebook for Realtors, where it is specifically a show about using Facebook for realtors, right? That content will have its own banners and their own headings, and it'll go on to its social media page and its podcast page and its broadcast platforms. And then all of that will be put on the Perfect Blue Studio platform under the client list, all from one 30-minute video. You do I would tell everybody this, one day, one 40-minute video, cut it into 2 pieces. Those 2 pieces, both audio and video, shared correctly throughout the week is something you can share all week, push all week, email to your clients all week. I haven't even discussed email, right? You guys all know this who are on the call regularly. It's going to go out as an email to everybody who didn't show up, to all the regular other students or people who showed up on this call previously. I would assume you all, I worked before agreements. I would guess that you all have previous clients. So you want to send them a copy of what you're working on, what your core values are. Let them build a personal connection for you. Could be wrong, but it's really simple. And then number 5, evaluate what works. The best advice I can give anybody about marketing is, and it's really, 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 really simple. Ready? The best advice I can give. Fish a hole until it's dead. If you're branding, you got to invest a year. If you're doing online content to generate actual listings, prepare to spend 6 months to a year. Sorry. There are no quick fixes when you're doing content and marketing. But if you're doing something that's actually generating a result, you're getting likes, you're getting followers, you're getting people to engage with your content on any of the platforms, keep doing it. It's not a secret. At any point, any one of my clients can come to me and they'll go, wow, I'm not seeing any new content up. You're right. I don't always put content up. I can go weeks and weeks without putting content up for my clients. My answer is always the same. You should go look at your Insight page and check on what we're doing behind the scenes to make sure you get more followers, that you get more likes, that we change the algorithm, that we plan for the future. Those things happen as well. And certainly if you're going to get anybody to do that kind of work for you, make sure that they know that, you know where your Insight page is. Some of you have no technology skill whatsoever and you'll blindly invest into people. Do it with somebody you trust and know, somebody who has a guarantee. I guarantee my results when people work with me for a year. It's a really simple principle. I do fundamentally believe that if I do somebody's marketing for a year, you'll get a minimum of 1 transaction. I was just talking to my friend in Las Vegas who I'm launching a podcast for, named Will. He doesn't want to do the podcast at all. He basically said, do a podcast and advertise my show, advertise my real estate services. I went, okay. So I will. I'll record it today. It's not rocket science. It is fear, and fear creates what people perceive as laziness and stagnates you. Stagnates you. And you need to move forward. I'm umming and ahhing a lot. Don't do that on videos. But I really want to make this a clear, concise message. This was a great article by Inman. Go check it out on Inman. They had some great tips and ideas. If any of you want tips or tricks on how to do any of this, okay, ask away. Text me 858-663-2537. Email me, lee@honish.io. Go to any of my websites, honish.io, perfectbluestudio.io. You want to have a discussion about why I like IO over .com. That's an easy discussion. And there's a reason behind it. There's a reason behind everything. If you want to hire somebody else and you want to run it by me and ask me what I think, I get that a lot. Feel free to do that as well. Okay. Any of those things actually work. I would ask you to click and subscribe and make sure that you show up here weekly at 9 o'clock, because I will turn the recorders off and talk off the record with the people that show up and tell them what I think candidly about marketing and the truth of other marketers and other things that are going on. I just don't record them. I don't think it's professional, but I will speak my mind. I am brutally honest about my feelings. But this is a video, right? The one thing that kills me, and my clients do this, your political opinions, your political affiliations, your opinions on the sun coming up the wrong way. Social media, platforms in general, are only there to propel your business and connect with what? 5, 10, 15, 20 family members, max? Half dozen family and friends? Set up a separate profile for them where you have your real friends and family on them. The rest of it is I don't know 5,000 people. I have 5,000 on one profile and 5,000 on another couple of thousand on the Lee Honish marketing page. Perfect Blue Studios at 1,000. Some of the pages I produce are at 10,000 or 20,000 followers. We don't know those people. We're creating content and we're feeding them and building credibility and like and following. That's what you need to do in your community. Share it. Do it. I can't stress it enough. It's a great article. Go check it out on Inman. And most of all, go to honish.io and take advantage of talking to me for free.